Hello, my name is Gavin Jones, the creator of Realms Asunder. In the coming campaign, we will be playtesting some of the abilities that we'll be using. So some things may feel underpowered or overpowered. We are aware of that and we're working on it. We're also going to probably be covering some darker themes for a more mature audience, so be warned of that ahead of time. I hope you enjoy Realms Asunder, The Threads of Destiny.
My stories are catalogued within these pages of my journal. Eons ago, I was tasked with recording the events that occurred as I travelled across the many worlds and realms. Throughout the ages, I've seen heroes rise, warlords conquer, and kingdoms fade into mere legend. I've witnessed gods play games with mortals, using them as pawns for their own pleasure, enjoyment, for what they deem as a higher purpose. Threats larger than comprehension loom within the realms. One tale emerges from the annals of time, a story of unlikely heroes connected by the threads of destiny. I hope you will find as much enjoyment in their tale as I. Yours, Zerzio Reni.
All right, back with episode 7. Unfortunately tonight, Eldoran will be out. Riker is not feeling the best, so we'll be missing him for tonight. But we're gonna keep going on with the session.
He did.
Anyway, he's not dead, but he's not great.
But he's dead.
All right, so last time, the party had to call on Merrick Twiddlewink, his associate Margret, who is an orc healer. She's runs an apothecary in Calemia, to look over their comrade Aerilaya as she lay in bed from a unnatural sickness that they later learned was caused by a monster known as a Nightshade. While Margaret was taking care of Aerilaya, the party ventured out into town, took care of some business, and headed to a gem mine that Twiddlewink owned, and cleared it out of some creeper crawlers. So, you guys have made it back to the estate. There's gonna be Aerilaya, I have an event set for you. It's gonna take a few days' time basically to run through. So for the rest of the party, you guys have about 4 days. Is there anything you'd like to do in that time?
Oh shit.
Jesus.
I was not prepared.
That's okay.
Gers? No.
Twiddlewink is currently looking towards getting ready to start the enchanting shop. He's looking out. He's basically sent out feelers for hires and stuff like that. So that's what he'll be working on, trying to find some people. Is there anything anyone else would like to do in their free time?
Did we get the rest of the payment for that first job? How much was that again? Or did we get paid that job?
You will have to wait to get paid until kind of the business starts up a little bit more. You get the sense that the gold he gave you and that you guys refused some of it was basically the rest of his savings. That's it. That's all he's got until these businesses start going up. You do have another mission that I assume you're going to wait for, which is to
steal some documents.
You need to get the documents from Lord Bracker to prove that Merwink that the investment has been profitable and that he's basically been like embezzling money. But since you wanted to wait for your second stealth person, we'll have to wait on a few days for that. So,
Okay.
I'm right here.
Who wants to go first?
Ghost is going to actually kind of go off on his own for a little bit and try and dig up on some information on some of his side quests.
okay, sounds good. Go ahead and send me a message, Ghost, about who specifically you want to look into, and I'll make some rolls for that.
Okay.
Okay. Nick,
I'm getting nope.
Solomon, any of you want to go? Ellie?
Is there a library in Calemia?
Yes, there would be libraries and bookstores and stuff like that. The library would probably be less inclusive than the one that's going to be in Black Ash, which is at the Mages College, the college or the Spires of Power, I believe. I'll have to look that up specifically, but yes, you could go find some books and do some research if you would like.
Maybe just spend like a day trying to either find out information on the Eye of Decila, or maybe more like assassination attempts or successful assassination attempts made by the Black Rose. Just try to gather more information on them.
Okay. Go ahead and make a knowledge roll for me, just to see how your research goes.
Plus 20, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh. Four.
You definitely don't find anything about Black Rose assassinations in Calemia. You get the sense that most of that knowledge would probably be. It'd be better to try to find an Amathor or anywhere in Brathlin that the Black Rose is a little bit more active. But even then, it'd probably be closer to higher military grade secrets that you'd have to like hunt down in like, the archives of some of the upper military groups. The Eye of Desla. I'm looking for that item. Give me a sec. There.
This fucking sucks. Because of my backstory, do I get triple fate advantage?
No.
Oh.
So digging through the research, you're looking for the Eye of Desla, correct? That's what it's called. You look for basically the entire day through many books of ancient history, through stories about the goddess herself. You know that she's the goddess of fate and destiny, but you don't find anything significant on that specific item here. You could potentially keep looking if you wanted to spend another day, and I'd give you another roll, but for today you don't really find anything of value or importance.
Fair enough.
You would one thing you would connect is that the fortune teller that you saw would be someone that would be would follow the goddess Desla. She's popular throughout the Kaisu people. So,
Gotcha.
all right, I'll get back to you with the rest of your days. Ellie, what do you want to do?
I just like picture they come out of the cave and then like Roy just like, all right, bye, and the ghost is like, all right, bye, and then Eldoran falls asleep and then I'm stuck here alone.
Eldoran probably would be out in the middle of nature right now, kind of like in the estate, kind of looking for some meditation spots. More.
You should go talk to him.
So asleep.
So
I don't know. Ellie with her now newfound time and being alone, she, I guess, works on her axe a little bit.
If you want to,
It's like abs.
since you're near a mountain, I will allow you a few rolls. Go ahead and make a smithing check for me, which I don't believe you have any points in, so just a straight D20 roll.
I have 2 points in smithing.
Right. I forgot that we changed that around.
I'm a smith master. Right? My cat is stealing my socks out of my drawer. Diabolical. Ooh, 17.
17. All right.
Smith master.
As you look on the mountainside near the estate, you do actually see small veins of ore running through. You could take some time to mine some and actually work to try to improve your weapon if you wanted to use the materials to potentially improve your weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and how many days do you just want to spend the whole 4 days on just doing this?
I mean, I'm probably gonna want a snack at some point. So.
Well, you can snack
No.
and munch in between
Not
working
allowed.
on it. So if you would like, you can go ahead and make 3 rolls for me.
Okay. Can I be doing this to like the soundtrack of Pocahontas? Like where they're like dig and dig and diggity dig.
I mean, you can do whatever you want in your head.
Well, the first one was a 1, so like I don't know what
some of
happened
this-
to the soundtrack. It was broken.
Some of this isn't really working well for you. 2 more rolls for me.
That's a 9.
Okay. All right.
Wait, do I add my smith
Yes,
thing?
add your smithing
Oh.
bonus.
Okay, so that's an 11. And then the last one, I got a little bit more snacks in me, and it's a 15.
Okay. With the 17 you started with, knowing where the veins were, I will say that you find. Let me see. Okay. You find
I find a block of diamond.
a block of diamond. You find 12 pieces of iron ore, and you
Wow.
find 2 pieces of silver ore. Just so you're aware, the iron ore could be used to increase the. If you made it into an ingot, you could increase the damage of your axe by 1. If you want to
Okay.
spend your last day doing that and putting that together,
Let's just, let's
or you
do
can save it, or you can save it for other upgrades and stuff in the future.
Let's just do it. Let's just freaking do it.
Go ahead and make another smithing roll for me.
Okay.
This is you
Do I have to-
basically putting the
Okay.
materials together and stuff like that. So I just want to see how well you do. It's
So I'm
not
making
su-
a crafting bench.
Yep, but you would be able to find with Twiddlewink's resources a forge to work at for the
Okay.
day.
That's the
Okay.
kitchen counter.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, that's enough to make the upgrade. It does increase your damage by +1, so your axe does +1 damage. Okay. Nick, what do you want to do?
It's like
So
Animal
many
Crossing.
things. I gotta make a few letters.
Okay. So you're gonna spend some time writing those letters out.
Yes.
I'll just have you after this session, you just send those letters to me so that I can figure out what they'll reply to you.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, Nick ditched me too. I forgot to add that in there.
Everyone ditched you for their
You
own thing.
you all suck.
It's only 1 day for me.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything else over your 4 days besides write letters?
So that's the one thing with the letters. I want to send one to Will
Okay.
and ask him if he's willing to go back and forth to see Bulla to set up a communication with Bola.
Will from the from Tharum.
Yeah.
You would know that Tharum does not have a post office,
Right.
so it'd be more expensive to send a letter there.
Right. How much are we talking?
It'd be 3 gold pieces to have the letter, because you'd have to have the letter instead of having it teleported. Basically, it'd have to be hand delivered by courier.
Okay.
And it'll also take you a little bit longer to get a reply, because that'll take a few days to get there and a few days for the courier to get back if he writes a reply. But
Okay.
Keep that written down, and again, send me a full list after.
Cool. I just kind of wanted to walk around town and get a sense on how people are feeling.
Okay.
What is the social structure, corruption that I keep hearing from Ellie?
Okay.
Make a feeling check.
Give me a
Actually, I'll go up to. I'll ask Ellie if there's a day available to ask her about that.
Please make an appointment with my secretary, Fifi. Let's see if I can fit you in.
They'll see you at the beheading.
So Ellie, since you've used up all your days, you'd be pretty busy and packed just doing this enhancement and upgrade.
I mean, if he can talk over my slamming.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could potentially talk as she's like sweating and basically, pounding new metal and sharpening Fifi. You can talk to her briefly if you would like.
It's true.
Okay. Ellie, is it alright if I talk to you right now?
I'm a little busy, but sure. What's up?
Obviously, there's a reason for the resistance, but so far since I've been here, I haven't seen anything besides the undead. But the officers I've talked to seem to be doing their job and not hurting people's lives. I was wondering if you could show me or tell me a few examples of what you've lived through.
Dang. Well, I should have brought my autobiography with me. I have a signed copy back home, but I forgot it. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like, you want a specific tale of my woe?
No. More so just what you've seen.
Adrian,
Yeah.
we're getting a lot of echo from you.
Okay, it wasn't just me.
Yeah, I was like, am I tripping balls over here?
Speaking the Holy Trinity.
Probably my
Ellie, tell me about
Yeah,
your
you
past.
You can turn down your mic a little bit. Autumn.
Me?
Autumn.
How's this?
Oh, no.
Goddamn, roasted.
She's like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you.
Hold on, I got a note taken down. We can always
What's Ghost doing this whole time? Is he gone?
Ghost.
Whores. It's fucking
Well,
whores.
while Adrian, while you're figuring this out, Ghost, why don't you go ahead and I want you to make 3 rolls for me.
Okay.
I want you to make the first roll. I need it to be either thievery or knowledge.
Thievery, got it.
Okay, so
check,
what's
check 1, 2.
Yep, there you go.
That's much better.
We'll get back to you, Nick.
I gotta pull them up. So that is a 16.
Okay. So searching around the town, you basically track the trail to the Roasted Pig Inn. You find that they were definitely there at one point. They are long gone, and they have set up. As you begin to kind of work your way through chains of like communication that you were like, okay, clearly they'd be going this way, and then they'd probably send a message here to here. It's extensive with multiple fail safes and different people receiving the same message. So as you track one, you have to almost backtrack into another one, and there's lots of dead ends and stuff. It seems like they have a very intricate communication system set up specifically to not be tracked. However, you get the sense that both of them are no longer in. You got 16?
Yes.
Okay, they're definitely no longer in Calemia. They have, you just from rumors and stuff that you've kind of like pieced together and information, they are gone. And they left pretty shortly after they pulled the trap on you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so the last two, I need you to make 2 knowledge checks for me. And this will probably take up the rest of your time.
Yep.
To research and figure out.
First one was a 9.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the second one for me.
Second one was an 18.
Okay. Which piece of information do you care more about?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Not
He wants
sure,
to
so
know
let's do
all
a
about
percentage
me.
die. Let's leave it up to the dice.
All right. I like it.
He wants to know all about me.
Oh, good. Good.
Sounds right.
Item will be high, other thing will be low.
Okay.
Out to 51.
All right. High it is.
Wow.
You find at one of the bookstores, the shopkeeper is going to end up making you buy it, so it'll be 5 gold for the book.
Done.
But you find an older book about the religion that follows Kita. An older group of this, like one branch of the religions that follow her would be called the Warriors of Dawn. And you just, it's almost like a mythos book. It doesn't seem real to you. It seems weird and like story-esque, but throughout the reading for the next couple days, through the book and just like getting a grasp of what it's about, you understand that a long time ago, there was a warrior of the goddess who took or was given the ring of the truth seer, and this warrior ended up actually I'll get you the full story in a little bit, but basically the warrior ended up losing faith and betraying Kita, and the ring almost became a curse, and that's kind of why he betrayed her in the long term, was that the ring ended up forcing him to see everyone's truth all the time, and he essentially became so like distrusting of other people because everyone was essentially liars, including a love who deeply betrayed him and scarred him. And it kind of ends there. The story doesn't really like it. He is the last one to know of have the ring, but again, it sounds like a tale. It sounds like it's a fairy tale story, not like it's a factual statement.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Nick, let's get back to you, and then Roy will finish up your days.
Right. Ellie, if you had any thoughts on it? Like, what you've seen, what you've heard being within the group that you have been.
I don't know, dude. I feel like we've talked about this before already, and just are you confused by my motivation to want to stop what's happening around here? Like you don't see anything wrong with it? Because if you don't, like I don't know what's wrong with you.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I guess DM, how much undead have we seen walking the streets within Calemia?
Pretty frequently. You would see patrols all the time, which have skeletons. There are undead servants that do some manual labor that is mostly more hard labor, things that people don't really want to do. So they basically have undead servants do it for them. If you walk, since you've probably been traveling in town, which we'll get to rolls for that in a second, you would know that like some of the manors have undead servants that take care of the property. Not all of them. There are servants. But one thing you do not notice, actually, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
We'll get that.
Yeah. The undead was just so much in the background that it wasn't really talked about besides on the highway, so I didn't fully realize how integrated it was into this society.
It's extremely integrated into the makeup of Houghton, especially in the major cities.
It's an issue. It's a problem.
Learning this new info, can I move my talk with Ellie to like closer to the 4th day after I've done my own walking about?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
So I want you.
That never happened. Movie magic.
Well, I assume that he kind of had this talk with you, and then he moved on to kind of explore a little bit and get and get his own information.
Just kidding.
So, Nick, I'd like you to make a. You can either use perception or speech to gather information.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I know which one you're going to pick.
Of course.
But just for everyone to be aware, party and audience, the reason I'm allowing him to use speech is because basically you could talk to people in the town to gather intel as well as just like figure out the basics of how a thing works rather than just seeing it for yourself.
So with that in mind, Nick would like to walk around and ask people if they need any help with daily tasks.
Okay.
And just be as helpful as possible.
Sounds good.
So using speech. Adding adaptability for this first day.
Well, do you want to do this from I'm assuming you want to do this for basically your whole time?
Sure, we can do that too.
Okay. I'll just count this as a roll.
Cool. So that's 14.
Okay. You do find like simple tasks to help with across town. You unload barrels into one store. You help, a lady clean out her gutters, stuff like that. Simple things. Okay. Over the course of the week, you learn a few things. One thing that is starkly different from other societies that you've been involved with since you've never really been to Houghton before, there are no slaves. There are slaves in every other major kingdom on Aelish. There are no slaves in Houghton at all. It seems that that demographic would have been replaced with undead. And so that's strictly outlawed in this kingdom. Now, I'll give you a little bit of context. So, as far as slavery goes on Aelish, it's the worst in Brathlin and Everglon. It's not great in Rathton either, to the south. Uglon is a little different. Since the north is very believes very much like the kingdom itself has laws basically that you are allowed. Actually, let me bring up my specific lore I have on this because people did backstories that made me write up lore on this. So I think I put it.
Wink, wink. I don't know if that was me. Actually, I have no idea.
Here we go. So customs in other kingdoms.
You're muted.
Brathlin basically has slaves for every task, and almost every noble family owns at least one, and a lot of them are heavily dependent on them. Sometimes they take the place of servants, and sometimes they take the place of just brute force labor. And it very much depends greatly on the family of how they're treated. Everglon is generally mostly to Plyfin Trade Post, which is the capital, since it's a newer kingdom and kind of still frontier land. A lot of it is just nobles who have come from Brathlin or other kingdoms have brought essentially servants with them. However, you know that Everglon specifically is very bad because since there are so many frontier towns and smaller villages, they're often attacked by either the Feral Enclave or they are attacked by slavers who come and basically kidnap entire cities.
Right.
Little villages. Usually the villages are only 20 to 50 people, but it's bad. In Uglon, when a slave is basically purchased, they are given a chance to basically a contest to prove that they're worthy of their freedom. If they win, they actually become part of the family that purchased them. So they are not a slave, they are part of the family.
Okay.
And Rathtun, many are, since Rathtun's such a big trading port, a lot of them are forced on ships to sail and row in not the best conditions. And what was your roll, 14?
14, yeah.
Just, you haven't really been to Rathtun that much, so I'm going to leave that a little bit out. One other thing that you do know is that, let me see, hold on. Slaves are all branded the same way. There is a burn mark branded around their neck. So even if you escape servitude, you're still always known. Sometimes people convicted of crimes will basically be offered, usually non-violent crimes will be offered a chance to enter slavery rather than be punished in losing a hand or something like that. Some people are sold to slavery, and then obviously there is the slavers who come and basically kidnap people, which is strictly illegal in most kingdoms, but since Everglon's kind of a little lawless in places, it's not great. So,
right.
Other stuff you learn from traveling around town. You learn at the end, if you'll remember, at the end of last session, you had a gnomish wife who was looking for her husband. You find, including, since I would assume you probably would check the local militia, which has a lot of wanted posters, stuff like that. There is about 8 to 10 missing gnomes in the city. All happen from mysterious circumstances around the mines. You do go past the square that you guys walked through where you met the fortune teller.
I avoid her.
I imagine that you walk a very wide arc around. Make a thievery check for me, just to see if you can blend in with the crowd.
Don't do this to me.
It's not very hard.
Who's a nice lady?
13.
Don't do this to me.
13?
I get a +6 and I can't do this.
You manage to sneak past her without you thinking that she doesn't notice you.
Cool.
But she is still there. So,
Get her number.
other than that, the general
Get her number.
feel of the city is the northern side is docks. There are a few. They do not trade within. They trade up to the north of Houghton. There are a few small towns that ride up the coast before it goes out into open water, and they can trade into Uglon as well to the north. But in the Bay of Clans, I believe that's what that area is called. It's mostly just local trade on the the western coast. The eastern coast is surrounded by the forest, the dead forest, the silent forest, and then mountains. So there's no trade access through ship to Sinner's Peak.
Okay.
But there are a lot of like boats that come in and leave, and there are many that you could assume that you could get passage to even other continents from here. Although, in general, it seems that most of the passages are mostly on the coast, and that you would need, since it's not out, it's mainly in a bay. You'd be better luck to find something that would be like in Black Ash or in the south or anything like that.
Okay.
The western part of the city is basically all mines, and that's a majority of what people do in Calemia. It's a huge mining town for Houghton and the Conyers. Specifically, it is for mining not just metals, but also gems for enchanting and magical means and stuff like that. So there are a lot of mines. The mountains here seem very, very rich with ore and gems. Almost unnaturally so. Other than that, is there anything else specific you want to know?
Probably ask about the Brackers, that family, or scout the building or the manor where they live.
Yep. The Bracker estate is on. So, in the northern part of the city, the western part is the mines, and going up, basically, you kind of go uphill, and sitting on away from the mines, but also away from the docks, is the upper district of the city, which is home to like the keep, the Lord's Keep, basically, and stuff like that, and some of the bigger stuff. The Bracker estate is in the eastern part of the town. It's very, very large and in a very wealthy part of town. From just general information with the 14, you'd gather that there are two brothers. The older brother is Lord Walter Bracker, who is the head of the family and runs all the businesses. And then there's Jorn Bracker, his younger brother. You don't get a whole lot of information because you'd be asking kind of common people, but you get the sense that they're pretty high up in social standings in not just Calemia, but Houghton and like all of Houghton. So, okay. That's basically all you're going to get from that 14. But that's quite a bit. Some lore drops. Okay, Roy.
You're still muted.
Oh, I said, what would a 20 have gotten him?
There would have been some more stuff. There's a little bit more information I had on some interesting interactions, but you don't get to know. So
Day 2.
So, Roy, what do you want to do?
I probably would have remembered looking through Ghost's backpack and seeing some sheet of paper or something about a ring of truth.
The Ring of the Truth Seer. Yes, you would have seen a little dot jot, basically, page about notes about it.
Probably would have also searched for that in the library, but
that'll be another day if you would like to research that.
I'd say if I didn't find anything, I'd get bored after like a couple hours and leave.
Okay. I mean, you can make a knowledge check for me if you want. If you're only staying for a couple hours, then it'll be a much higher DC.
Please, easy. Hey, the best roll I've ever had. The 17.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Basic information you would find about it is that it's an item of legend. It's a myth. It doesn't seem to be real, and it's somehow connected to the goddess Kita. Which you would remember something from. You and Ghost ran into a man as you crossed over in Kabrak, who was a follower of Kita, a priest.
Nope.
Let me look up that specific.
Greg Finch.
You're talking about the guy who thinks he saved us.
Yes.
Greg.
I've purposely
Yes.
left him out of my notes.
Greg Finch.
Mm-hmm.
Saves your life. Doesn't get any acknowledgement.
And you both
He had a
would,
handle.
you both would remember that he was looking. Wait, I don't think I told you that.
I think you told me that.
Yeah, I told you that. So
Spoiler.
Follower of
yeah, he's a missionary of Kita.
of bitch face. Kita.
Nobody's ever gonna want to save you again.
Well, to be fair, like I also had plans for an extra character to be there, and they unfortunately couldn't play, so the two of them were left out to dry a little bit.
Sounds like excuse.
Plus, I rolled just slightly above average, so it didn't help at all.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
So I was rolling like 6s.
All right.
Good for you.
yeah, that
Anything
was pretty
else
good.
you would like to do, Roy?
Probably on the second night, I would head towards the Fire Boar Inn or Roasted Pig Inn.
The roasted pig in.
Roasted Pig Inn. To get the bounty off my head
Okay.
for the black roses.
Okay. So you would know that the bounty has been cleared as long as you guys made it out. If you would like to send a message, the message passed along to you was that they will take care of the major for you.
Gotcha. I would like to enforce them to not take care of the major.
Fair enough. So you'll just send you give a note to the barkeep. He, let's see, let me get to the pig in. Folin with Ted, the skeleton server or the host. But Folin takes your note and kind of tells you that he'll pass it along down the chains of communication and get it to them.
Did we spend EXP or not?
You guys did not spend EXP, so
Fuck. Is there any way I can follow this note down the line?
you can certainly try. Make a perception or a thievery check for me.
All right. Yeah.
Is that a 1?
Yep.
So,
But it's a +1.
all right, it's still a 1. So, you think you keep a pretty good eye on Folin, but you manage to get distracted in a game of cards, and he slips out without you knowing and is back. As you look up, he's coming back in the front door, and you're like, oh.
I'm the best.
So
Do I win
you-
any money at cards? Now I want to play some cards.
Make a. You know what?
Let's
High
do
or
this.
High or low?
Are you rolling?
Yep. High or low?
Percentage or what?
Percentile. Yep.
Let's go with a low.
You win 5 gold. 34.
Sweet. Thank God for my efforts.
Okay. That is your second day. Is there anything else you would like to do before your time's out?
I guess I would in general kind of Aerilaya still out, I would assume.
Yeah. Margret has been checking in on her every day, and we will get to that soon.
Gotcha. Ghost is nowhere to be found.
Music suddenly starts playing.
Yeah.
You start singing.
I
People in the
unlocked the
streets
boss
start
battle.
dancing.
Ghost is nowhere to be found, I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, unless Ghost, I'm assuming you're just out and about for the 4 nights. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured too. Yeah. So Ghost is gone. You don't know where
Does
Ghost
he
is
just
at.
sleep in the shadows? Like
Just
Batman.
open Ghost room and I go, okay, you're still missing. Ellie's working on her sword downstairs.
You just fucking call her a sword? Oh my.
Not to your face.
Didn't hear that. Nicholas is always walking around.
Yeah, Nick is out and about in town.
Come find me.
Wish it
Cool.
was
I guess
sword.
I would go and also try to get more information on the Braxor family and their Braxor mines.
Okay.
The one that we were hired for.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make a speech or perception check for me.
You're not gonna work on your kebabs.
What?
Yeah, your kebabs. They're not spears anymore. Now they're kebabs.
You get offended about your hammer.
Ah!
The one.
Is it a 1?
Yeah.
Roll different dice.
You need
Glad
new
I
dice.
spent time
You need new dice, man.
with everybody.
All right. So, unfortunately, you don't really learn much more other than what
You
Nick
sure?
has already gathered. You do learn that Calemia has a miners association.
Holy fucking balls.
Yep. There you go.
I run back. I'm like, Nicholas, did you know about this? They got a miners association.
Oh yeah, I think we learned that the first day we came in.
Before that.
It's old news, bitch.
Just
Anything
upset.
else you want to try to accomplish, Roy?
Can I walk around?
Yeah.
Can I walk to my room without rolling a 1?
Yes, you can walk your room without rolling.
Fuck, I don't even know. Probably too soon for a letter to come back.
Yeah, you would have checked the post office. It's a little quick.
I'd probably, I guess, look down at my uniform cloak, and I would go to the There's a clothing store in town.
Yeah.
Their name is Nitty Wit, because I wrote that down.
Yep, I got it written down too.
And I would probably try to get a slightly less obvious orange and teal
Okay.
cloak. That doesn't
Well,
vibrantly stand
I was
out.
gonna
Or
say,
I would offer mine till I ask him to like
basically
bring
a
down the
trade.
color.
A trade of what colors?
No, just bring the color down a little bit.
Okay,
it
so
doesn't
like maybe
stick
like
out as much.
make it make it less like bright and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's metallic.
Is there any like do you want to just change the shade to be deeper and darker, or do you want to like change the fabric at all? Because this is like your robes and stuff like that, right? That's what you're talking about, your uniform.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would more so what's the clothing style in town? Is it darker clothing and more
In general,
Not
the average
pronounced.
person wears more bland
Browns.
colors because they're cheaper.
I would
but-
just ask them to bring the color palette down.
Okay.
Keep the 2 colors because that's what I was given.
Okay.
And
It-
it's my mission.
It'll
but-
be 10, we'll say 10 gold to kind of get it detailed up to a more like, it ends up being like this much more deep, rich blue with, instead of like vibrant orange outs like everywhere, it's more orange accents. So they don't quite, they pop still, but they don't quite stand out as, hey, I'm a walking target.
worth it.
So
Also,
it does
I
look
guess,
pretty sleek.
nice. While I'm there, I'd also ask to see if they can like commission or build a face mask that's like a skull's teeth,
Okay. Like out
kind
of
of like a
out-
Punisher thing.
okay, out of like cloth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something that's a little more creepy than just like a black.
We'll say that they will do that for 5 gold. It'll be a custom make, and it'll be so you want like a black background with like almost like white, like a white bottom side of like a skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they can do that. It'll take some time, but we'll say that with your travels around town and stuff like that, you would have ordered it, so you'll have it by the time the 4 days are out. But you'll have it. Do you want it to be more like a bandana, or like, are you thinking of like an actual like?
I'm really hoping I'm not thinking the same thing that you are right now. For a certain
Me?
character. Yes.
Just like
Uh-huh.
maybe like a little harder, maybe like more porcelain type mask, or like a little bit more rigid, not just cloth
Okay.
type of like just kind of thing that would go through here.
Okay. So if you want to do
Maybe the mask.
if you
like,
want to do porcelain,
imitate
it'll be
someone
more
you know.
expensive. You could also find a wood carver that would do that and paint it for you and seal it and stuff. But it'll be most expensive for porcelain. It'll be a little bit more expensive for the carving.
Well, I still want it to be like breathable, you know.
It'll be breathable. It'll be
Let's
like
go
a good
with
mix.
that.
Okay. So we'll tack on an extra 2 gold for that, just for the time carving, and there'll be like a nice, like, it kind of blends into the wood though, just between like the way the teeth come down, and like the black accent. There are like little slits for you to breathe through, but it does attach very easily to the bottom of your face, and it's custom carved to fit your face.
Let's go for general fit, not my face.
General? Okay.
Or general.
Sounds good.
I'll write that down. Punisher mask.
Yep.
1.
All right. Is there
I was thinking of Modern Warfare.
Close to, yes. Yeah. Basically.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do before I move on?
I forgot about this last game after we came out, but letting somebody know about the horde of the demon city.
Oh, okay. You could have done that in your days. Are you gonna tell them you're gonna tell the watch?
No, he's just running the street going, help!
Demons!
I
Help!
have
Demons!
seen
Demons!
Go ahead and make a speech check for me.
Get a sign on his chest. He's growing a beard. He's on the side of a street.
13. I have a +5, and that's the third 8 I've rolled.
Also make a perception check for me.
Cool.
Sir Nicholas, I don't want to hear any shit about Roland from you
Nick.
or anyone.
19.
Okay. You tell the watch. Because you got a 19, you can tell they're pretty skeptical, but they give you like, we'll check it out.
Oh,
But
they're
they didn't know
skeptical with a
about
19?
No, he rolled a 13 for a speech check
Oh.
to tell them.
Let me help.
It's
From the reaction, I get that this wasn't common knowledge. Am I still?
It's definitely not common knowledge, and it's because your perception check is so high, they think you're like making a joke or like not really telling the truth, like trying to pull their leg basically. It seems like this is so unbelievable, it seems like a prank.
Okay.
Like, you would know from your time traveling, there aren't any demon cities. In fact, well, one, you didn't recognize the leader-esque demon at all. You didn't recognize his race or like, sub-race of demon whatsoever. You don't really know anywhere in the world, from your knowledge, that has a city of just demons. There are demon kin that are essentially more humanoid mortals that they're not super common, but they're not they're not like rare, hard to find. They're spread out across the kingdom. They're just not like the most common race on Veshtir and Aelish specifically. And you don't know anything like you don't know anything like this. I have more information, but I can't tell you because you've already spent your time. So
I know.
you'll have to do some research to find that at some point.
All right.
Don't worry, I've done a ton of research.
Yeah, you did find that. You did find the mining association.
There's a mining association.
Okay, so while this is all happening, let's get some better music for this.
Oh, good God.
Aerilaya, through the dream that you had still feels almost real, and you hear voices of concern in the distance telling people to go get help for you, but you can't respond to them. You feel cold sweat pour down your body, and it feels like you're almost in a furnace. While in this fevered state, you feel something warm and almost cool at the same time try to like break through this shadow that has come over you, and almost a convulsion attack against this light. Slowly it comes down and quiets again back to its normal state of still in this fevered state, and you start to feel slowly some kind of cooling effect, and you hear a voice in the distance saying that, "Don't worry, we'll get you through this." Oops, let's turn that down a little bit.
Do I recognize that voice?
You do not recognize the voice. It sounds like it's coming from, not from a dream, from around you, but you can't respond or interact with it.
Do I see anything while this is happening, or is it just like black?
It's black. You like get flashes of images of a woman standing over you. Let me get to her.
I know the woman.
You do not. It is a make a knowledge check for me.
11.
It is an orc, which are not very common on Aelish. An orc woman stands above you. Older, graying hair. I believe she had red-brown skin, right? I believe I said that last episode. So, and tusks coming out, like small ones. You don't recognize her at all, but you can see her hands moving up and down, and you feel almost this shadow, like, pulling around you. Your vision flashes. The bag's still on your head. You hear voices around you. And the bag is pulled off of your face. You are kneeling in a darkened room, and a man stands over you. Give me a second. You are right here. Not the right folder. Man, I have a lot of folders and notes.
Pew 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 pew. Pew pew.
Pew, 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 pew. You see a man that you recognize, short shaved brown hair, human. The name clicks in your mind, but also separately away from you. In your mind, it clicks as a direct servant of Lupe, known as the Violent Blade. But a second name pops in your head, almost separate from you. The name is Milo. A voice from your lips calls out, but it's not yours. It's one you recognize, though. What the hell, Milo? What are you doing? A grin spreads across his face. Don't worry. This will be quick. All you have to do is drink. And a goblet, you see a goblet, silver goblet, chalice in his hand, and he puts it to your lips. The smell is that of rust. You do not drink. He gets angrier. Drink for me. You refuse. You see a hand touch his shoulder with these long, blood-red nails. A woman in a red dress, low cut, flame red hair, and this close you can see her eyes are solid red too. You cannot make her drink, Milo. She has to want it. And she will. And she kneels down and puts her hand around your chin. You try to fight a little bit, but she snaps your face and holds it in a grip tighter than a woman of this size should be capable of. And as you gaze into these eyes, you can feel a longing, desire to do whatever she wants you to do. She puts her lips on yours. And you begin to taste rust in your mouth. And at first, it's terrifying and confusing, but slowly it becomes almost delicious. She pulls away, and you almost crave wanting more. She takes the goblet from Milo and hands it to you as the two behind you untie your hands, and you drink deeply of the chalice. You snap out of that, shuddering almost in. You can't even believe it doesn't even feel like your body anymore. You almost feel out of body from this cold, constant shaking that surrounds you. But you're snapped back in. Again, not quite you. Something strange. You see a darkened room. You can see there's someone asleep in the bed. But your mission is done. You have what you came for. And then there's this quiet voice in the back of your head. Just this little urge to kill. It'd be so easy to just slit the throat of the woman laying there. And you find yourself moving towards the bed, drawing your knife, and just slowly moving across. And as she begins to wake up, her eyes open in panic and fear, you cover her mouth and you just drive the dagger slowly in. She gurgles up blood before she passes. And you get this almost euphoric sensation. It feels, this is right. This is good. You want more. You shake it off a little bit. More later. Time to finish what I came here to do. And you leave the room.
I know who that woman was, or she was just...
You don't recognize the woman. Some noble woman, judging by the attire, the room makeup, you would recognize it as likely somewhere in Brathlin, probably even Amathor or the surrounding estates. You keep snapping in and out between these visions and this pain and struggle. And you're pulled into another. This time, you're waiting in an alley. You've been watching this man for days. You know his routine. At this tavern every night after work. Until 10. Enough drinks to make sure that he's really feeling it. And this time you made sure to spike it with a little something extra. You follow him on his route home. And right when he gets to the spot, you knock him unconscious. And you bring him to a location that you've already prepared. It's all set up. And this time, you're so happy to take your time. Every cut you lay in to the man as he's gagged and bound to this table just brings this sense of joy and pleasure to you. And it takes time, but the time is worth it for the sensation you feel. You think it's maybe been an hour, 2, but when you go outside, away from what was once a body, you notice it's daytime already. 10, maybe noon. It took you more than 8 hours to slowly and painfully have him meet his end. You're snapped into a different memory. It feels like it's been so long. And you kneel in front of this woman dressed in red with the flame red hair and the red eyes. And all you want to do is please her. Milo is also there, and the three of you discuss plans to move on another target. Someone else who you just want to free and show her that this is the right way of things. Your partner and your lover, you want to bring her into the fold. Show her the sense of joy and pleasure that you feel. And you and the woman in red make plans that after this next job, you'll bring your partner to her. And she will see the way of things as they're meant to be. Your body feels exhausted, tired. You don't know how long it's been, but it feels like it's been an eternity. In constant pain. But you get the sense that now that you're outside of that vision, it's not you, but you feel this strong pull and tug from whatever this is. And you're pulled back in. You see you've gotten this job done. You have General Joseph Galt. He's tied and gagged to a bed. Oh, your partner just wants to make it quick and get out of here. That's all that she wants. But this is it. This is how you show her. And you can't help yourself. You reach for one hand, and his eyes go wide, and that fear, that sense of panic and worry from him. There's nothing better. You begin to slice into one finger at a time, cutting it in half down to the bone, making sure to peel it off nice and slowly. Not enough where he'll bleed out, just enough to make sure he really feels it. You get through one hand, and you begin to start on the other hand. When you hear the door open, and you look back, oh, she's back now. But there's a look of anger in her eye. She comes over to you. And outside of this mind that you're in, you recognize yourself staring at you. This isn't what we agreed to. Quick death. But you just have to tell her how it feels. You just have to show her, and come, just do just one finger. It's so satisfying. But that's not you. You pull away from her, from this person that you're inside, and this look of disgust and anger is in your face. But you don't understand. And maybe you can make her understand. Here, just let me show you. Just let me start this one for you. And she begins to carve in to the next finger. You carve into the next finger. And you see the pain in this man's face. You would think that after all this, he wouldn't be able to feel anymore. But you know that he can. And you can see it in his eyes that he can, as tears are running down his face. And then you feel something warm. And then the room starts to get cold. And you touch the side, and your palm comes back red. And you don't understand why you feel so weak. And you're caught before you slam into the floor, as you're slowly laid down on this person's lap, and you see your partner, you, with tears streaming down your face. But you don't understand why she's crying. You guys will be back home soon. It's just a little bit longer, and then you'll be done with this job. And then you get this weird thought, well, why isn't the job already done? Why did I do that? Did I do that? But it felt right. And something that felt right like that couldn't be wrong. And then you want to reach up to brush the tears away from the face, but your arm doesn't move. And you realize, I'm dying, aren't I? And that's why she looks sad. And the memories begin to rush in of the last 6-8 months of doing these things, and it doesn't seem real. It seems almost like someone else was controlling you, but you know you were in control the whole time. And you have these feelings of regret and fear. You're scared. You don't want to die. You were happy. And you want to tell her that. You just want her to forgive you for what you've done. And you're mad at yourself for making a mess of everything as it was going well. And the last thing, as the world starts to blacken, you hear come out of your own lips, but not from your own voice. Don't worry, child. You'll soon be mine. You sit up in bed and vomit. Luckily, there was a bucket prepared for this. You see the orc woman standing above you and just letting you retch into this. You feel extremely weak, like barely able to move your body at all. That's it, child. Come on. The rest of it too. And you convulse and heave again, and there wasn't much in your stomach to begin with, but what was there is no longer. I am sorry I couldn't do more for you, but this is a stronger connection to a Nightshade that I've ever seen, and only you could pull yourself out of it. You are now conscious. Your friends are downstairs. Would you like me to get them for you?
Not really.
Okay. Well, she puts a cup of tea to your lips and gently tips it up. You take a drink, and it's perfect temperature. It's not too warm, like not too hot. It's not too cold. It feels really soothing going down your throat, and you drink it all, and it feels refreshing, but you are still extremely exhausted. You're through the worst of it now. I wish I could do more, but you'll need to rest a little bit longer. We'll have to make sure to get some food in you. I'll make sure that Merrick does his job and gives you broth and things that will easily go down for you to regain your strength. But the worst of it is done now. Do you mind me asking what you saw?
I'm guessing at this point I understand fully well what I saw.
You are pretty sure you know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a lot of my lover and her life. And what she did.
Interesting. You know, each experience with a Nightshade is different, but she kind of looks down, and you look at your shadow, and you realize something specific. Well, it seems close. It is not you that stands in your shadow. The Nightshade still remains attached to you, and you will need to be careful. I don't think... I hope that you will not have as strong of an attack, but I do not know. I've never seen a connection this powerful before.
How do I get rid of it?
The Nightshade is dealt with it's formed by regrets and not completed tasks in the world of the living. And for it to move on, you must complete its task for it. I don't know what that is. I mean, if you would like to describe the events, I can maybe help you determine, but most of the time it's up for you to figure it out for yourself.
I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good idea of what she wanted.
Okay, that is good. It's best to get these things taken care of quickly, but sometimes these things take time. You should be fine for months, even potentially years. But there is always a chance of you getting another attack like this. So you need to be careful.
So it won't go away until I do what she wanted.
Correct. You have to complete whatever lingering regret it has in this world. Now, keep in mind that these things can be tricky to understand, and they may not always be what you first think. I've seen more simple ones be satisfied with a child being adopted, or a farm being looked after. But I'm going to guess this one's not something so simple.
I'm gonna roll percentile dice to see if I vomit again.
All right.
As low as she vomits.
All right.
She does not throw up.
You feel the acidy, what remains of your stomach acid kind of come up into your throat, and then kind of recede back down. You manage to hold down the tea. I will get you some broth and stuff like that. I'll have Merrick or Zinc bring it up for you, or one of your friends. And I will leave behind some tea that you will need to drink for at least the next couple days. It should restore your strength pretty quickly, but you'll just need to take it easy for a day, probably, before you're able to move around freely. You'll still be a little weak, but you should be okay. And the orc woman gets up, who you all know as Margret, gets up, leaves the room, and
Before she leaves, I'll ask her if she can send up Nick.
Yes, of course. He's the bald one, shaved head.
Yes.
I can do that. And she goes downstairs. So, you all are...
Hold on. You keep telling us keep it PG-13. What the heck, you torture... What the hell?
You're no shit.
I put
Jesus!
Like a fucking
warnings.
Saw movie.
I put in warnings ahead of time. I just wanted some of the graphic language some of you used a little bit.
What did
This
you guys
is-
do while I was gone?
That was what we say is
I'm
nothing
just-
compared to
is-
what you
But
described.
in my defense,
the guys at the bottom were
Give
just
me
laughing
anal
their asses
beads or
off.
give me
He's like,
death.
What the fuck is going on?
in my defense,
And then
you guys wrote really dark backstories for me to play with. So I did that.
Fine. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
You can't place the blame on me for that shit.
You should look at our
You guys should have known what was
text
coming with
message
me.
group.
Oh man. Well, so you guys can all yell at me after the episode's over.
I'll have nightmares. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
I'll
Well,
need therapy.
I'm glad that I've given you all a nice emotional experience. You're all welcome.
I
You're all
don't know if
welcome.
I'm shaking because it's my second Red Bull of the day or because
10 o'clock at night.
it's fine.
It's fine.
All right.
Heart palpitations are good for you.
So,
Exactly.
Margaret comes down the stairs. You guys are all kind of just chilling out now, eating, we'll say lunch, probably.
Cookies?
You see her talk. Sure, there'll be. Zinc loves cookies, so
Hell
he
yeah.
always eats cookies with Ellie. I
Me
feel like
and
that's a.
Zinc.
I feel like that's a daily thing with you two.
Cookie time!
Cookie time.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Although when you eat like one, he eats like 5. So, but
There.
Margaret tells Merrick something, and he rushes off to the kitchen, and then she kind of gives Nick. She kind of gives you a little like nod, like come here.
Okay. I'll get up.
She is up and weak, and she wants to see you. So, Merrick is making a bowl of broth for her right now. If you would like to take that up to her in a few minutes when it's prepared.
Will do. Thank you
And
for everything you've done.
she hands you a small bag, like burlap, a little baggie of tea leaves. Make sure that these are brewed in a tea, and have her drink it twice a day, when she wakes up and before she goes to bed.
Will do.
And she kind of waves to all of you and heads out.
Okay.
It takes a few minutes, but Merrick, you kind of meet him in the kitchen. He's preparing it as quick as he can, and he gets it together and hands it to you. It's literally a bowl of just like chicken broth. That's it. There's no like anything in it. Seems like
What's going on? Feel like we would want to know.
yeah. I mean, you guys could talk if you want.
What's
Yeah.
going on, Nicholas?
He's going upstairs.
We didn't hear that part, Ellie,
Ah.
because it was
Roy,
whispered.
please, it's fine.
Well, I thought he was just like, oh, okay.
Nope.
And then gone. Okay.
Apparently,
I'm busy eating cookies.
Apparently, Aerilaya is awake, and I was asked to bring food up. So just wait down here, and I'll
Good news.
come back with an update.
I hand him a slightly rusted silver goblet full of water. I say, here, make sure she drinks plenty of water.
I mean, the goblet is from the Twiddlewink estate. It's
I assume it's rusted slightly.
yeah, it's got a little bit. It's not rusted. It's a little bit of like that. You know when like metals get tarnished, like start to green a little bit. It's like that. It's a little tarnished. It's not quite fully polished and taken care of.
Like a good
Make-
penny.
Make sure she drinks plenty of water. I hand him the goblet.
I appreciate the thought, and I will go up.
Okay.
And
I don't say anything.
Uh,
It's just silence.
Go away.
Aerilaya, can I come in?
Yeah. Is it just you?
Yes. I'll
Come in.
walk in. Here's the broth that was asked for you. I'll send the tea leaves when you're ready for them.
I'll just point to, like, I assume I have, like, a bedside table.
yeah, you'd have a side table.
Yeah, I'll just point to it.
Oh,
Do you know a Saida Xylith?
I know the. Say that again.
Her name is Saida Xylith.
I can't say I'm familiar with the name.
I figured if anybody knew her, it would be you.
Saida Thyrus?
Saida Xylith.
Xylith.
Yes. It's Saida. And Xylith is Zyleth.
I haven't heard the name before, right? I've.
No,
been-
you make a knowledge check for me. Actually, just make a percentile roll for me,
Oh God.
because this is a very like specific circumstance that.
95?
Wow. Okay. You have heard the name in passing from one of your contacts. Let me get to your backstory quick. Okay, I didn't expect this.
Holy Fuck.
I was
That's a good. That's. I mean, that's a 95. That deserves something.
I'm sorry, am I still echoing?
No, not nearly as bad as.
Okay.
I mean,
I
a
guess
little
just
bit,
one.
but not as bad as it was earlier. Let me see. So, you would know a specific person that has mentioned this person. Or wait. The person you're speaking of lives in what town, Aerilaya? Did we discuss that? I think I have it written down. Hold on, I gotta look at my locations.
You have it. I don't. Oh yes, I know it.
What's
It's Dulip.
okay? You do know it is. It is. You've heard it in passing from a friend of a friend, basically. A person that goes by the name Common Lotus or Terra Cyrenot has mentioned the name to you before, but you have never specifically met the person.
Oh. That. I've heard the name before, but I don't know the person.
Would you be able to get a letter to her?
I could definitely send one, as well as you could. If you feel more comfortable, it could be under my name.
Now you're echoing.
Let me try.
I hear the voice of God again.
Wow, I cannot believe you rolled a 95 there. That is.
That's what he rolled?
Yeah.
Jesus.
95%.
Christ.
That is some deep cut right there. Those are things I did not expect to come up in this episode.
Let me try. 4.
Did you really get a 4%?
I got like a 22.
That's not a town that's on the main map, is it?
No, Dulip is around. Let me bring up the map.
But it's in Rafton?
It is in Brathlin, not Rathtun.
Rathlin. Okay.
Yes, it's near Rathtun. Give me a sec. Let me get to the map.
It's the duo.
Yeah, it's near Duo. I have a specific spot for it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
There are so many folders in the Realms Asunder folder. Okay. So Dulip would be, I believe it's set north of Duo in the crook of the two rivers that are branching off there. Not dead north, but like northwest, as if you were going towards Amathor.
Okay.
So, I believe that's where it's at.
I don't know what's going on with the double lane. Goes in and out, so
you're
I have
good
no
now.
clue.
You're good now, so we're okay. Let me see. Locations. Brathlin. Duo. Yeah. I think there's a few other towns near there. Yeah. It's right there. It's basically a stop between Amathor and Duo.
Okay. Yeah. I could definitely write a letter, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Can I ask what the reason is?
It's been a long time since I've seen her or talked to her. And I would really like to.
Gladly. Gladly send a letter out. I'll just get out a piece of paper.
Oh, by the way, Nick, you noticed something very specific when you walk in the room. Aerilaya, her scar, gone. It's not there anymore. Let me get to this specific thing.
Well, that's 4 days of having an orc wash your face.
But I don't know that, do I?
You have no idea. Well, it's been 10 days since you've upped your disguise. So, that's not the right folder. I've got to specifically... So many notes. Should just brought up
Aerilaya could probably just say.
Well, I was going to say, I'm looking at... Because she doesn't have control because she isn't in... she wasn't able to do anything. So, the tattoo is still there. The scar is gone. I believe you had black hair, right? Shoulder length black hair. It is now visibly, the roots are visibly a deep, rich red. And that is basically it.
It's got like an inch of root going on.
Yeah, you got a solid root there. Clearly, this has been dyed a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, scar completely gone. So, yep.
All right. So, what would you like me to, or would you like to write it?
Yeah, I would like to write it if I can.
I hand her some parchment and ink.
I'll write it and give it to you, Gavin, at some point.
That's fine. Just get it to me, and then I can get some replies when they would be replying to you.
Sweet.
Okay. You've gone through a lot. It's been a number of days since you last awoke. So you should get some rest, and I'll try to keep the others out of your room for the rest of the day. Is there anything else you need right now?
No. Sleep.
Sounds good. I will come back in the night tonight with some tea ready for you, and that's it. You're supposed to have some tea once at night, once in the morning, so twice a day. So I'll brew it for you. It's one of my hobbies. And
Thank you.
not a problem. I get up to leave. I would also recommend doing a little touch up to yourself. You've lost some features, but that's a talk for another day. If you need, I can also bring up a mirror to help out with that.
I don't have any like hair dye, do I?
You would probably have some in your stuff just because you would be continuously upping the disguise. So you would likely have some, but I would say that you probably would need to run to the store if you wanted to keep it up consistently. You probably have enough to redo it now, but you need to resupply.
Okay. Yeah, a mirror would be great.
I'll leave. And I'll go down to talk with the others. And what time is it? It said lunch.
Yeah, it's probably a little after lunch right now, like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
All right. Well, she's awake now, but she's still recovering. We won't be able to do anything anytime soon. Yeah, I have to go brew some tea for her. She's gonna be sleeping. Please don't try to go up and talk with her until at least tomorrow. Is what she requested.
I am sporting my new mask.
Alright.
And I just go, I'm Ghost. I don't care about anything or anyone. Look at me. I'm an assassin.
Is Ghost just deck him or what?
Ghost is just gonna look at him, shake his head, and just walk out. I'm gonna go make some use of his time.
Solomon, where are you going? Why are you leaving me?
The mask
My
is
name's
actually pretty
Ghost.
good detail too.
Oh my
Some
god.
quality mask.
That's some good stuff.
You jealous of my mask, Solomon?
Everything's a fucking joke around here.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes, it is. Yes. My name is Ghost. Yes.
Is that worth
So-
7 gold?
It was worth the 5 gold. Yes. Yes, it was.
So worth
Oh
it.
god.
I had a feeling that's what you were doing. As soon as I started like putting it together, I was like, okay. Okay.
Wait, so Aerilaya, what happened to her? Like, sorry to.
Yes. Ghost is questioning as well.
Oh my god. Are you really
I sit back brewing, Lee.
brewing?
Are you fucking done, mate?
Now you left.
Kill, fight, kill.
It's a pretty fucking sweet mask, isn't it? You can be jealous. It's alright. So what's going on with Aerilaya? Jesus, Ghost, let's get on topic. What's wrong with you? Nicholas, you have the floor.
Okay. About time.
Throw a pencil at Ghost.
Well, as you know, as we learned from Margret, she has some kind of entity in her. I'm sorry. What was the name of it? I'm spacing that.
Nightshade.
Thank you. Nightshade. That was attached to her. That seemed to be causing this.
Why did she want to talk to just you?
That if you want to ask that, that's up to Aerilaya. And she just asked for somebody, and I guess that was just the one. I have no idea.
Do I believe him?
Truth check!
I mean, you know, after this time, Nick's a pretty straight shooting guy, so.
I don't know. He likes undead cops.
Dead
Cox?
Undead cops.
Yeah, he likes
Get your
those
mind
undead
out of the
cocks.
gutter.
I mean,
Oh my god.
he likes those undead
Stop it.
cops.
Oh no! Go back to talking about peeling skin off of fingers. That's fine.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
But don't talk about
That
Cox
is
children.
all sure. There is no getting around it.
Cocks are off limits. Oh, jeez.
Talking about a rooster. I mean, I'm talking about a rooster.
This is the content that we bring. For
This is
our
this
audience.
is the great content. All right. Well, does anyone else want to talk to anyone else today?
Hey, Ghost, I got you this great mask, by the way. You're just looking a little kind of lame, just being black. So I figured for you to match the bear skin cloak that we got you, and take off the mask and hand it over to him.
It is a
I
nice
figured
looking mask.
This one might fit you a little better. But you have to trade me.
I have to trade you.
Yeah, I want your mask.
You want my mask?
For personal enjoyment.
I appreciate the gesture, but I don't know about that.
How can you say no to that face, Ghost?
Oh, it's made out of wood and shit, and it's got like some little slits so that you can breathe easier.
It is a nice mask.
Protects
Cost me
you
at
from.
least 4 or 5 gold. I can't remember.
Roll for temptation.
It's very breathable.
Ghost, what are you rolling over there? What are you doing?
I guess I'll take the mask.
Was that a nat 1? What did you roll?
I rolled percentage die. High, take it. Low, don't take it. And I rolled a 95, so.
Dang. All right.
The
Do your
dice gods wanted it.
Guess so.
I
Cool
figured
mask.
for our next mission it would probably be beneficial for us to have some masks in general.
Right. Are you saying
can't
this
see
out in
the
the open?
intimidation factor of this, so.
Everyone's talking about once what?
I can see the intimidation factor of this, so I'll go ahead and take it.
But that's kind of your brand anyway. So I figured. We
Appreciate
should
that.
probably figure out a plan for our job with this Braxor family.
Oh, I can help with that. And you see
Jesus
Twiddlewink.
Christ! Holy shit, how long have you been here?
Oh, I just came
Jesus.
from the kitchen. Zing is like sitting in the corner still snacking on cookies with Ellie.
What the do you guys see him there?
You two are just both constantly eating, aren't you?
I'm a growing lass. What can I say?
I don't think he
I
was
just like
talking to you,
cookies.
Ellie.
That's Zinc.
Yeah.
Aw.
Is Ellie feeding Fifi cookies?
I would
Just
not
like-
waste a good cookie. Fifi is watching your figure. She's a well-oiled machine.
Animate object is watching its figure.
Yeah, you have something to say about it, Mister? I don't have a mouth, and I have a strange accent.
My name's Ghost. I put his mask on.
So,
Oh my god.
so you all are thinking about the job, right? The Braxter job? I have
God, it smells terrible, Ghost. What the?
an idea.
You have an idea.
Continue.
I have an idea. So, I have, and he pulls out like, hold on. He pulls out an invitation. I have, surprisingly, an invite to the Braxers. They're throwing a little party in the next few days from now. And so, idea is that I attend. I could potentially even bring one of you with me because I have a +1. Sorry, Zink. Oh.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Zeke.
He just like.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll
But
sneak him in.
we could get one. He's like 10 feet tall.
If he tiptoes, it'll be fine.
So
I try to feel bad, but I cannot.
So I take one of you in with me. The rest of you go in the outside, maybe the back, maybe the one person lets you in. And because I don't know where he keeps his papers. So, because the party will be taking place on the main floor probably. And then I'm assuming his rooms in the upstairs are a good place to check. Or maybe he might have an office down in the basement. I don't know. So I've actually never been to his estate before. But I'm really excited I get to go now.
Nicholas, have you gotten all this down? This is a solid plan.
I've gotten as much as I could.
There's a lot of I don't knows.
Yes.
Maybe a back door.
Listen.
Possibly papers.
Listen. I am entrusting you with the plan. I just had the little bit of extra information.
Let's back up one step there. If we leave ghosts in charge of plans, they'll all be dead.
Ooh,
So-
please don't kill everyone.
And if Aerilaya was here, we'd be outnumbered.
This is not my first get in and get out mission, Roy.
Ooh. Exciting.
So I can get in and get out real quick. So we'll go through the back entrance. Super easy. You are quite distracting, so you could possibly go in with him, Roy. And just be the life of the party like you always are.
If it was okay,
I'm
I would
pretty good at that.
rather go with go with Twiddlewink. It's one of the rules that I would prefer not to break with the paths is not to steal from others. So if I was one of the ones who was actually go get the papers, that might be breaking it a little bit more than just being at the party.
Loophole for you. If you're not touching the papers, then you're not stealing them.
That's what I was gonna say. Why are you always so high and mighty?
Why don't you just be a lookout for the other two that are going in?
I can do that as well. Another rule of the paths is there's always 6 different options, 6 different paths.
See, and this is why I trusted you all with the plan.
So we've got it decided then. So I'll go in through the back, slip in and slip out. Roy will go in and attend the party, and the rest of you will slip in as well. Yes?
I mean, I think Aerilaya could be good with you there, Ghost. I think both of you would be pretty sneaky on the back door.
If you did not, I mean, is she not down for the count for a few days?
Well, the party doesn't take place for a few more days, so we have some time.
You think she's going to be functioning by then?
What do you think Eldoran's doing?
Where is you know, I haven't seen him that much recently. I think I walked in on him like doing some kind of weird ritual thing just in the back. He was just sitting in some trees and just kind of like, I don't know, just sitting there.
He loves nature, I think.
That is an
He just kind of had some vines just wrapped around him and a little flower on top of his head. It was really weird.
What did you say, Ghost?
That is an odd variable. What will Alderan do for this party, for this mission?
Well, it depends on what his faith allows, I guess. But we'll ask him later down the line. For right now, if we can scout out it any more in the next few days, that would be ideal. We could either talk to one of the 2 brothers, Walter or Joran, if they're out on the streets, see if we can get any more information. Quite possible.
I mean, I might be able to get you in. Walter generally doesn't leave the estate very often except to conduct business, and from what I understand, not the most amenable fellow. Joran, though, he seems to like to go out and about a little bit more. I might be able to help you guys find him in the city streets if you want.
That could definitely be helpful.
Twiddlewink, is there a possibility you could get a +2 to this party? One being maybe your newly fiance girlfriend Ellie, and a bodyguard of yours truly.
Ooh, you know, I might be able to pull that off.
What?
Mid-cookie.
He kind of like blushes a little bit, pulls down his hat, kind of like fixes his comb over a little bit, and like puts his hat back on. He's like, you know, wouldn't be a bad time. I do like to party.
Party.
Ellie, there will be cookies there, I assume, right, Twiddlewink? And I look to him and like give him like a
wink, wink,
come
nudge,
on.
nudge.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you. It takes him a second, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, there'll definitely be cookies there."
I can't
if it's
possibly be persuaded. Okay, all right, you sold me.
Okay,
but after this, we gotta go. We gotta get going.
Okay.
Gotta hit the road, Jack.
Ooh. One other thing we have to do in the next few days. Before that, I need all your helps with hiring my my new person. I wanted you all to be there as we get the enchanting shop running, and I thought you guys could help me pick out a potential candidate to run the shop.
What?
Candidate to run the shop.
We don't know anything about business.
Oh, well, I figured since you guys helped me with the gem mine, that you'd want to help me with, picking out someone because, you guys have a good judgment.
What? Mid-cookie again.
So I got some candidates coming over tomorrow if you all wanted to partake.
I would love to help out.
What do you seek in these candidates of yours?
Well, I'm looking for someone who's independent because it's kind of hard to check in on a bunch of different businesses. I really like Margret. That's why I invested in her business especially. I'm looking for someone who's skilled at what they do. Great enchanter. I think these 3 candidates are all good choices. I've kind of narrowed down the field a little bit already. I just kind of need some help, like figuring out which one of the 3 is the best fit for, the Twiddlewink brand.
Possibly someone who's not afraid to get assassinated. I look to Ghost. Give him the eyebrows.
Are you an enchanter, Ghost?
I'm.
Yes, he is. Show him what you got.
No.
Oh, okay.
I am not.
Roy, you're really putting it on thick today.
It's kind of fun.
Lighten up a little bit.
I'm just saying we could test them a little bit, see how they're doing.
It can be fun to an extent, but really, just let's bring it down a bit.
So.
I stabbed Nicholas in the neck.
No. All right, we need to chill.
Oh my god.
Fight!
Roll initiative.
The Star Spear comes out. All right, PvP activated. Okay, so if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, we will fast forward. Unless you guys want to do something today. Is there anything you guys want to accomplish to set up the Bracker job?
Well, first I want to brew the tea leaves.
Okay.
Bring up that and some kind of reflective surface for Aerilaya.
Okay.
And bring that up to her during the night. That's the one thing I wanted to do.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything?
Yeah, I bring Ellie and Ghost in together. I'm like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to need. We're going to need a forklift. We're going to need plans of the city. We're going to need where the sewers go. We're going to need that guy's eyeball. We start formulating a plan.
All right. So.
I see with you, Ghost.
Does Twiddlewink have a library in his house?
He has a room that would probably be a library, but it does not have very many books.
But it does have some books?
Yes.
What kind of books?
Very few. When you walk into like a thrift store and you're looking through the books, and they're usually books of people like that people kind of like gave away because no one really wants them. It's really slim pickings. It's like very like off, like almost like almost unheard of like novels and stuff like that, and like a few like he's got like almost like an encyclopedia, but he's got like Z and like Y, like that kind of thing. He's got like the weird, like the things that you're
X.
like, yeah, you're like, ooh.
So no like
Twilight stuff.
religious texts at all?
What specific religion would you be looking for?
Momus?
Definitely not.
Okay. Just making sure.
He's got, let's say, he probably would have a very brief like small handbook version of like the smiling goddess.
Nah, fuck that bitch.
All right. So,
Damn.
Also, while I was up there, bringing Aerilaya her things, I would bring her in with the plan, the party, and so she can start to come up with her own ideas.
all right. Sounds good. So, if we don't have anything else, we're going to skip to tomorrow. Who all wants to help Twiddlewink decide who he's going to hire? Does anyone not want to help? All right. Aerilaya, you're out.
I'm dying.
All right. Okay. So, you, everyone but Aerilaya, I'm assuming, unless someone else doesn't want to be there.
Well, do I even know about it?
Yeah, you would have been told.
Oh.
And you would be well enough to go downstairs today.
Then I'll be there.
You plus Twiddlewink in the middle. Basically, like a few of you on the couch, some of you kind of stand in spaces in the room. Zinc leads in the first candidate. A Draco blood male with gold scales and red eyes sits down. Arshik Siro, and I am from the Borzirian Desert to the south in Irifan. I am a master of weaving the enchantments of fire. Talons kind of like weave through the air, and you can see like trails of like red weave through, and just different intricate patterns. Ellie, make a smithing check for me.
4K. 12.
Okay. You wouldn't recognize them, but you do know that these are enchantment glyphs, essentially, and like things that can be like brought into a blade. So he kind of turns to you. He's like, "What do you guys think? He's cool. Got that, desert vibe going on."
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't said anything yet. You haven't asked.
Show
him
us a
question.
trick!
Oh, what kind of trick would you want? I can do, and he there's like candles spread out across the room. Since it's daytime, they're not lit, and he just kind of like, and they kind of all just ignite and light on fire. I can do other things, and he starts like shifting between flames and like basically kind of like juggling flames around him.
Have
Aerilaya
you
loves
brought
it.
Have you brought any examples of enchanted items that we
Yes.
could look at?
So he reaches kind of like down and pulls out. There's a ring that he pulls out and sits down, and he pulls out a sword. And these are more of things that I would probably sell in the shop. These are my personal works, and what I carry with me. He puts forward the ring. This is a ring of dancing flame. It's enchanted with extra power, so it can I can channel the spell through the ring once a day for free without having to expend any energy to cast it. And he pulls out the sword. He pulls the sword out of the sheath, and as the sword pulls out of the sheath, the sword ignites on fire, and he lifts it in the air. This is my own personal blade. I have enchanted it, and he kind of swings it around with flame, so that it, in addition to being a sword, it also strikes with heat and flame. And he slides it back in. These are two of my personal things that I carry with me. but I can do more things like that.
I want to get clarification on this position. Is he supposed to be selling things, or what are we engineering for?
So Twiddlewink had you guys clear out the gem mine so that he had already bought a property to open up an enchantment shop, so that the gem mine would basically supply the enchantment shop, and the enchantment shop would make extra money because there'd be less of a supply line gap. It'd be cheaper for him to basically get supplies from his own mine. So the mine is already up and running in the last couple of days. He's already gone out and gotten people working in the mine.
So this is basically a salesperson job.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's more like a manager because they're running the shop while he's.
Well, the shop would start off as one person. So he'd be in charge of making the product and selling it, or making custom jobs for people.
Okay. Could I? I'm sorry. I'm a little bit parched. Could I get a glass of water real quick?
Are you asking Twiddlewink that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Zinc. Like. What? What do you want? Water.
Just a glass of water.
Okay. So he walks back, brings back the little, not too grimy, but little grimy, small in his hand, small chalice, and he sets it down in front of you very gently.
Perfect. What was your name again, sir? The one we're interviewing.
Ashek Siro.
Ashek. All right. I place the water in front of him. Sell me that.
You would like me to sell you a glass of water?
Yes.
Well, you see, where I come from, water is such a rare resource that I feel like you should really appreciate it here in your land. See, the Borzirian desert is very, very dry and not a lot of rain. We have to breathe in the heat to fill our lungs and keep us temperature and keep us warm over the night. And it's hard for us to find such a delicacy as a full chalice of water.
So I could just run down the street. I mean, there's an inn down there that, serves water and everything. Like, why should I have this other than that?
He looks down at the water. Because this water is here, and you do not have to go there.
Checkmate. Now light it on fire.
And he breathes out a little bit, and it catches the top of the water. It doesn't burn the cup at all. It just catches the top and lights the water up, and then it disappears. The water is slightly evaporated.
Is it boiling?
Since it's such a quick heat, and it would have just steamed off the top layer of water, so no.
I am pleased. Just make me a creme brulee, and we can be friends.
Do not know what that is, but I can certainly try.
All right, yeah.
Okay, Twiddlewink kind of gets up and shakes his hand. Good to see you. We'll get back to you in a little bit. And he kind of walks him out. You guys wait a little bit. Walks in the next. This very stout dwarf female with a little bit coming in, a little bit of beard. Not all dwarf women.
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, a good 5 o'clock shadow coming in. Not all dwarf women have beards, FYI. But she specifically seems to not be opposed to a little 5 o'clock.
Beard is beautiful.
She has a big hammer that she sets down next to her. Pleasure to see y'all. Name's Mev Tildak.
Most manly voice we've heard so far.
Listen
from
here.
Gavin. From Gavin.
Listen here.
That's out. Continue.
Why are there so many of you here? I thought it was just me and you, Twiddlewink. What's going on with the entourage? Huh?
Twiddlewink?
Yes, these are my associates. They are great adventurers that have traveled, across the world. Across the world, right? Yeah, across the continent. And they're excellent judges of character, so I brought them in.
I'm cleaning my spear like a father would clean his shotgun before seeing his daughter's boyfriend for the first time.
Like your star spear or the other spear?
The star spear.
So you're literally doing nothing because it's made of magic.
What was your name again?
Mev. Tildak.
Mev?
Mev.
Meth?
Mev. M-E-V. Gotta get that junk out of your ear.
I'm hopping over the table.
Okay.
I want to look at her hammer.
This catch your eye, did it?
Hell yeah!
Hands the hammer over to you. She just one hands the hammer, hands it to you. You almost drop it.
Do I fall over?
It's really, really top heavy. But
Bitch, what the fuck?
But you can sense the way this hammer is forged. If you were to swing this thing, if you kind of set it on your shoulder, and it's heavy to get up there, but when you swing it, you can tell this thing's gonna hurt when it hits. That I tend to work with more metals and few imbuements with gems and different enchantment materials, but I tend to be more of focused on the weapon and enhancing and armors than I do just gemstones and enchantments, like fancy ice blades or whatever.
Wow. What do you think of this? Pull out my axe.
I don't know. I'm gonna see what she thinks of that. What's my percent on this? She takes it, flips it. Not bad.
I etched that in there myself, the happy face.
I see.
Yeah, and then there's a frowning face over there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. New Smith? Younger? She hands it back to you.
I feel like I'm doing pretty good for what I know.
Fair enough. So, questions? Anything?
How do you plan to entice those who don't really wear armor or use weapons?
Well, every piece of armor can be improved. You're wearing, are you wearing leather?
Leather.
You see, you think that your leather cannot be improved, right? Wrong. I can fix that up to be more resistant to different types of damage, to be sturdier and harder to break through by blades, and even, she picks up the hammer, even this. Even cloth, robes, and tunics I can improve with different materials to really make sure that they protect my customer to the best of its ability.
Nice.
If you were to assassinate Twiddlewink here, how would you go about doing it?
Why would I need to assassinate him? She grabs the hammer. I can just swing the hammer like this, and she almost brings it down, but she stops it. And he's like,
and that's how you nail a job interview.
She pulls it back on her shoulder. One swing of the hammer and be done. Why do I need to go about all this stuff in the shadows? I'll just walk right to the front door. I can break down this front door with my hammer.
She's hired.
We do have one more today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
With the gem mine that was recently opened up for this business, how would you incorporate the gems?
Well, you see, gems can be incorporated a lot of different ways, especially into armor and stuff. If you grind them down into dust, you can use them to infuse armor with resistances to the certain types of magics, and with weapons, you can also imbue them into weapons, or even use the dust to enhance weapons to be more of a pull more on the magical powers of a person. I'm better at material upgrades, but I can definitely use gems to enhance. You can also, and she chucks the hammer at full force past all of you into the library behind you, and before you look back to see, before it hits the wall, you see her hand come up and the hammer's back in her hand.
What the
She sets it and she sets it down. That's what you can use gems for.
What?
You see now
special
an amethyst gem, like imbued into the head of the hammer. Now that you're looking at it closer, and etched kind of around it are some markings and stuff.
Boomerang hammer. Genius.
Would you betray us if you were being tortured?
Oh my.
That seems like an interesting question. Would I betray you if I was being tortured? Listen, you go down fighting. You think they're going to get me in a room to torture me? You think that I'm not going to go swinging around? She like, you watch as she like pulls out like a knife. Always got to have a weapon on you. Like sets the knife back down.
These guys like to punch. Not big fans of knives, I've noticed.
I throw my star spear and I summon it back.
Ah, interesting.
To show that it's not that special.
Yeah, but that's a certain type of magic, isn't it? See, kid, not everyone can do what you can do. Not all of us have access to fancy magics to be able to summon weapons out of nothing but light.
Ellie smacks the table. Here! Down with magic. She's hired.
Well, I think you impressed certainly well. We just have another interview today, and we'll get back to you. You can see Twiddlewing's still like shaking a little bit. I'll just, you know what? You know where the door is. And she's like, yes, I do, and like picks up the hammer, sets it on his shoulder, and walks out.
Don't worry, we'll call you. Don't bother calling us.
The door slams behind her.
Found a hero.
The last one shows up about 15 minutes later. And you notice this very thin elven male with like this brown hair, about shoulder length, like kind of pushed behind the ears a little bit, and he's got glasses on, like big circular glasses, and he sits down and he's like, "Hello there."
And what's your name?
My name is
I like him.
Loram Mirith. And you had the enchantment position open, and he kind of like stumbles in his bag a little bit. Let me see. Yes. Okay. So I have this piece, and he holds. He sets down a necklace. So this is a necklace of the Phoenix Heart. One time per day. It can restore you back to heal you up, and it also pushes out a flame wave against enemies who are near you. Yeah, hold on. I have this ring. It's a ring of illusion, and it can allow you to create illusions from nothing. You can just it doesn't even matter. You don't even have to be skilled at magic. You can use it. Okay, hold on. I have Ring of well, this one's just ring of create water. That's a boring one. You guys, you probably don't want to hear about that.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you not hear me? I get nervous around new people. It's
Do
okay.
you mind if one of us tries that ring of illusion?
Oh, yes, of course. Which one of you would like to try it?
I'll point to Ellie. And
Of course.
Ellie, why don't you try it?
Trust me with this?
Well, you don't know any magic, right?
It's true. I don't.
Okay. Here you go. Okay. You feel the power of the ring, and as you kind of and you point it, what do you want to create? What illusion would you like to create?
Don't say penis.
I was not gonna say penis. A giant penis was what I was gonna say.
Giant dick.
I don't know. Maybe my shop back home.
Okay. So you comes out of the ring this image of this small workshop with benches and tools scattered around, and it is almost a mirror image of what you remember seeing. Ellie, I'd like you to make a D20 intellect saving throw for me.
Hold on, my cat stole it, so.
Jesus. Here, let me throw you mine so you can roll awesome like me.
And she'll roll an act one.
Mine she picked up out of the fucking tray. Okay. Here, Ray, you want to roll this for me?
Ghost, you got your question?
Yeah, I do have a question once you're all done.
13.
Oh, good. I'll
Okay,
grab it for you.
The ring seems to function fine, but you hear this voice almost call to you in the back of your head saying, "You need to come." You can't quite make out the words. You just hear "you need," and then it whispers out.
I'm confused.
You're just
I take it.
But the
Very intricate. Where did you learn to enchant?
Well, I grew up in Amathor, and I studied at the Spires of Insight. That's the Spires of Insight is the right one, right?
Yes. Oh, interesting. How long ago was that for you?
Oh, 60 years, I think.
60. Okay.
Yes, I've traveled quite a bit, picked up some new spells and materials across the world, and I've even spent time visiting the. Hold on, I gotta. So many notes. Where you be? I've even taken time to visit the city of Quan Verth, and quite fascinating magical knowledge to be gained there.
Quan Verth. I'm not familiar with that area.
So Quan Verth is in southern Braveos, which is it's quite a distance from here. It's created by the Volderai. Do you know of them?
I can't say that I have.
Make a knowledge check for me to see if you've ever seen one before. Probably not.
All of us or just Nick?
I can do it. It won't matter.
All of you make a knowledge check, just in case.
13.
Will it be sub 5? Will it be a sub 6? Let's see what's going on.
3? Nice.
He's talking about something on a different continent.
Did anyone roll above a 15? All right. Ellie and Aerilaya. Nice. So the Vol'drai are a specific race of mortals. They are formed by they're like magical essence beings, basically. They have no entirely physical body. It's basically like this semi-physical magical body that they usually wear rocks or armor or cloth or bandages over them as like dress. They are neither of you have personally never seen one. You've heard about them from people who've heard about them from people who've heard about them from people. Extremely rare on Veshtir, but from your knowledge checks, you would know that Quanverth is a very almost myth city. It does exist, but it's kind of hard to get to. And it floats in the sky.
Oh.
It's held up by magic. It's basically, they basically ripped part of this mountain out, and it's now floating in the sky as a city.
As mountains do.
You've never personally seen it. That's just what you've heard from people who have heard from people who have heard from people.
Oh, like Atlantis.
I guess.
But in the sky.
Maybe.
Well, that's a lot of extensive knowledge.
Quite a journey, and it was very, very worth the time.
So you've been there?
Yes, of course. I mean, anyone is, well, I shouldn't say anyone is welcome. They are pretty strict with who they let in, but they tend to be very appreciative of those who are interested in learning magic, specifically. And they're some of the best. So I thought it'd be worth my time to journey there.
Do you have plans to go back?
No. I'm originally from Amathor, and I'd like to stay on the continent and kind of in the time of settling down. And, you know, I thought running my own shop would be a good experience. And also, I'm spending a lot of time studying this, so yeah.
So let's do a quick situation. Let's say that Roy here is trying to pickpocket one of the items in the store. What do you do?
Oh, well, you watch as hold on, let's make sure it actually goes off. It does. You watch as out of his fingertips shoot like purple chains, and they wrap around Roy. I would just do that. Or I could do, I could also, and he like snaps his fingers, and as like Roy is sitting there, the chains break, but Roy is in the next room. I could also do that. And he snaps his fingers again, and Roy, you're back on the couch.
Wow.
I can. I'm just trying to think of other useful things. Those would probably be the two first that come to mind.
Another scenario for you.
Yeah.
You're in a dark room. There's a chair in the middle. There's a guy bound to it. You have to extract information from this person. How do you go about it?
He's a shop owner.
That's very dark. He pulls out a little notebook and starts like kind of adjusts his glasses and starts. Like he's flipping through pages, like looking through notes. It looks like. Well, I don't have anything in my repertoire that I could use for that specifically, but the easiest way to go about that would probably be to get a potion of truth and force feed it to them. and that way you know they have to answer you truthfully. I mean, if you had, tied them down and stuff, and yeah. Okay. Well, so any more questions about people and chairs or rooms or stuff that we have for him?
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Okay.
That was a fantastic display before.
Oh,
I'm
thank
going
you.
to take my Stark Spear and I'm going to start throwing it at the ground, vamping it back
Ooh.
constantly as I walk
He,
around him.
He fixes his glasses. Interesting. I've never seen something quite like that before.
It's not to show off.
Magic. So, family, bloodline type magic, or is it studied from somewhere specifically? I'd love to take a note about it. And as you're doing that, Turtlewing's like, well, maybe if we decide on you, then you can take some time with Roy, and we can you can spend some time. And he's like, oh, yes, of course.
I mean, he can still answer the question, Roy. How do you have your spells? Anything? No.
I didn't think I was the one being interviewed for this position.
Let me just show you the door. Why don't I? Yes, thank you. I hope to hear from you soon. And he exits with Turtlewink. All right, so good candidates. Who did you all like the best?
Number two, my lord.
Should we vote?
Sure, we'll have a vote.
Some
Aerilaya,
of you might die.
That's a
but honestly,
sacrifice
I'm willing to
I'm
make.
willing to make.
Aerilaya, who do you vote for?
Ashik.
Okay. For Ashik. Okay, Ellie, I've already got your vote.
Yeah.
Roy? I'll get back to Roy.
Give me a minute.
Ghost?
I guess the last one.
Okay. One for Lorum. Nick?
I'll probably say Laura.
Okay. All right, Roy.
Don't forget about Aldoran.
And Eldoran.
Eldoran vote for?
We'll see if we need it. If we do need his vote, then I will. We'll see.
Well,
I might have to just vote for Twiddlewink.
Right. Twiddlewink. What? Between the three.
Well, see, the
Who was
reason
giving you the best?
I chose the three is because I couldn't decide. They were I like them all. I want to hire them all, but I can't afford to hire them all right now, so I gotta pick.
How'd you
one.
meet them all?
Well, I have my connections, and I heard from people in circles about people looking for positions, and I've also been advertising for the position for a little bit, so I've kind of met up with some of these people over time and narrowed my candidate search. I was very much prepared to do this, and then I just happened to stumble upon you guys to help me really get started, and I was very excited. So
Can I just roll a general truth check on all three?
Just roll a d3.
yeah, I mean,
At that point, might as well.
I was gonna say, do you want to just understand, see who's I mean, you get the sense that they were all pretty. They all had different styles of craft, but they were all pretty involved.
I would say number 3 then. He
Okay.
seemed to be the one that gave the most demonstration.
Lorum it is. Fantastic. I will get in contact with him. I'll get the news to him, and we'll get the store up and running. And good news. So since you guys got the gem mine going, I've been getting some good hauls from that, and we're gonna start supplying the shop. And I can get you guys. I'm gonna talk to Lorum then, and I'll get you guys a free enchantment, and I'll get back to you on what that is.
free enchantment for each of us, or just one?
No, just one.
That's fine. That's fine.
I can't afford to give one to each of you. As much as I'd love to, I can't afford to give one to each of you. So, but I will talk to him, and maybe we can put something together that's a little, not too expensive, but something that we can, get you guys, the benefit of my sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So
you might want to just make sure he gets a little bit more of a spine once it gets closer to opening time.
I mean, I have an idea. We could definitely, you guys, let me tell you, you guys could be the ones to do that.
Ghost kidnap him.
You seem to be very adamant on torture tactics for a shopkeeper.
We can see.
This is what you've unleashed on all of your NPCs.
We can see what he can withstand.
So, with Lorem decided, that we'll move on from that. Is there any other prep work? Do you guys want to get masks? Do you want to look for
matching masks?
Do you want to look for Joran?
Well, I'll look like Ellie.
Or do you want to save that?
You should probably save that for another time. It's getting a little late.
That's fine. So you guys will all hit the hay. A few days left before the party. Feeling pretty confident. You start to hear rain kind of patter on the windows as you all hit your beds, couches, wherever. You hear, in the distance, crack of thunder. More rain just lightly pelts the window. Kind of gives you a nice, relaxing time. Remind me, Ellie, Aerilaya, were you guys staying in separate rooms? Or were you staying in the same room?
I think at this point it would be separate.
Sounds good. So, the thunder gets louder and louder. Crack of lightning nearby. Another. The rain gets heavier. Patters. Aerilaya, I'd like you to make a perception check for me. Oh, man.
Yep.
Is that a 7?
That is a 1.
Oh, you rolled a 1.
That's a 7. You showed a 7.
That's the 1.
Okay.
Okay, you showed the 7.
I didn't know which one.
It's okay.
Are you trying to beat me or something?
The metal dice fuck me.
You guys, the gentle patter of rain, and with the harrowing experience you've already been through in the last couple days, you quickly fall off to sleep. About, you don't know how late, but it's definitely into the night. You see a flash of lightning kind of wakes you up, and it kind of blinds you for a second. You kind of look, and the shadows kind of dance on the walls and stuff like that, from the light changing drastically. And then another bolt of lightning hits, and you see a hooded figure standing over your bed. And they quickly put their hand over your mouth as you begin to scream, try to scream, and they pull back the hood. You see a elven woman, similar in age to you, with slightly tanned skin. The roots look black, but there's multiple different colors streaming through her hair. You recognize it as your former lieutenant, Kylie. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Fucking fuck.
Just get out all the curse words because this episode is mature content, right, Gavin?
Fuck shit.
Content only. All right. So that's going to be the end of 7. Hopefully we'll have Riker back for next one, so we'll have some more fun stuff as you guys continue your adventures in Calemia, and we'll be back soon. So
Mia Cabello.
Sadistic bitch.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and our core rulebook is free to download at www.realmsasunder.com. All the links are in the description below. Thanks for watching.